perfect season, and Curt Cignetti, all businesslike after the win. 13-0 season for Indiana, man. Fernando Mendoza was good today. 2-2-2. 15 for 23 as well. Julian Sayin
How do we
had
not
another
have
interception. So
Charlie Becker in that score sheet right there? He had 6 catches for 126.
he was the story, man. He was the story.
I mean, what are we talking about, man? But yeah, I mean, what a phenomenal performance by Indiana. Just the way that they played. I mean, we all thought, right? When Mendoza, and everyone at home, I'm sure too, when everyone saw Mendoza take that hit early on, I had a flashback of Alabama, Texas, and Colt McCoy all over again, being like, well, there goes their season. Right? Because I'm like, oh, he's got a dead shoulder. There's no way he's going to bounce back from that. But the toughness that he showed, the toughness and grit by Indiana in general in this football game, the defense, absolutely impressive win for them in this game.
Let me just tee you up on this, because we saw this Indiana team, albeit a very different one, go into Columbus and kind of get the doors blown off from last year.
Yeah.
What's different in your opinion about this iteration of Indiana this year and what we saw play out today?
They're more physical.
No doubt.
All right. They're a lot more, they're a tougher team. And then you have a legit NFL quarterback under center, right?
Not a legit. I mean, you have a first-round talented quarterback under center.
And you saw him display his toughness, his accuracy, and his willingness to throw the ball deep accurately multiple times.
Yeah.
This is a great question by the real Stepper Dan. And I wish a couple of people who were in the YouTube chat earlier in the year were here, because Matt has been on the Indiana is the #1 team in the country for a minute now. And the way that, back to your question, Sam, the way that they were able to get after the quarterback, I think
I like this.
The defensive side of the ball was really impressive. I told my 9-year-old that Indiana football might be the single coolest American sports story in his lifetime. It actually might be.
It's pretty awesome.
But also, I think Curt Cignetti has ruined college football for everyone else.
Yeah, because
think about all the, because now everybody expects to hire the next Curt Cignetti. And the expectation is, well, we can bring in a Chesney from JMU.
Good
and
luck.
they're going to win the national championship and go 13-0. But that's my point.
There's only one Sig, and you see him in his interview. He's such a tough coach, right?
Yeah.
And I think that toughness is displayed. I just wanted to get to this, and then I'll toss it to you, Matt. 5 sacks on Julian Sayin today.
Right.
They got after him. Julian Sayin, we have not seen him under pressure the entire season, and that was one of the questions that I had coming into this game. Is Julian Sayin going to be able to handle it if he's getting hit consistently? He's having guys touch him up. They're hurrying him to throw the ball down the field. How is he going to be able to handle that? Because Ohio State's schedule has been cupcake. They haven't been tested as much, and he's had a clean pocket all year. This is the first game where he did not, and what ended up happening, Ohio State loses a game.
Did Indiana expose anything to you about Ohio State, or maybe something we didn't expect to see from Ohio State today? I mean,
yeah. I mean, I would say that the main thing that we should take away from this football game, right, is just that Shanahan, Mendoza, the aggressiveness of throwing the football down the field, right? We haven't seen that approach for anyone against Ohio State. Everyone was kind of like, well, let's just control the football. Let's not take any chances. No, we have a fantastic quarterback. We have a really good receiving core, even when Amari Cooper went out of the football game.
Right.
And they still were just like, we're going to throw the football down the field. They clearly saw a matchup, too, against Jermaine Matthews, right, and Charlie Becker.
No
it
doubt.
seemed like they continued to go against that matchup. They thought Charlie Becker was going to win a lot of those one-on-ones against Jermaine Matthews. They hit him on the post. They hit him on the deep go route down towards the end of the football game for 33 yards. That basically sealed it there with about 2:30 left in the football game, right? So you could see that they thought that they could really take advantage of the fact that Ohio State is used to crowding the line of scrimmage, keeping everything in front of them, making sure that, hey, they're going to make you work for everything. The defensive line for Ohio State was impressive, but as the game continued to wear on, the Indiana offensive line, the patience in the running game, and this is where I go back to, 34 rush attempts by Indiana, 23 drop-back pass attempts. So the balance and, of course, the effectiveness of just, we're going to keep running it. We're going to keep being patient. We're going to wear out their defensive front. When they get tired, we're going to take shots down the field. And when you have a quarterback as accurate as Mendoza down the field, hey, Surratt with that one-on-one there as well.
What a ball.
Yeah. I mean, what a ball. And again, you can't cover anybody as good as what that coverage was, but you can't defend a perfectly thrown ball to a receiver who knows how to control
what
his
have I
body
said
that way.
all year about Surratt and Mendoza?
Oh man, it's one of the best one-on-one quarterback receiver combinations we have in college football. We really do, and it's so impressive. And we're going to see them on Sundays doing that.
He's had some games this season that he's had to play without his number one wide receiver, and Mendoza has still showed up and balled out. But another thing to get to with Ohio State, because it's all three phases of the game here, and Ryan Day goes for it on 4th down when he could have made it 13-13, and Julian Saying does the tush push, ends up slipping. Great job by the officials seeing it last second and not letting Ohio State snap the ball, so they looked it over.
Did they see it or Sig saw it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who saw it? That's a great question.
Tipped him off.
Yeah. So you saw it really close there towards the end of the line of scrimmage, and he was short. They end up getting the ball back. And then, all right, Ohio State gets it back. It's still 13-10. They get to drive down the field.
Right.
This time they're going to kick the field goal. What happens? The kicker ends up going way left. And we're talking about 6 points here. The final score is 13-10.
Yeah.
So Ohio State was in it. They had their opportunities. But these are the type of games where you have two elite teams. The margin for error is really small.
What I love about this game, too, when you look at it from Indiana's side, they did not care about Jeremiah Smith, right, and Carnell Tate. They left them on islands the entire game. We saw constantly one-on-one coverage. D'Angelo Pons versus Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Smith. Now, hey, they burnt him on a few, but overall they were just saying, you're not going to do this consistently enough against us. Elijah Hardy, man, and Isaiah Jones, those two linebackers for Indiana, phenomenal football games. Elijah Hardy, that pass breakup in the low red zone, a little boot right there. I mean, no linebacker is making that play consistently. So it goes to just show you the preparation, the execution for this football team, for them to be on those concepts and to be able to read and react as fast as they did. They were fantastic on the defense side of the football. So well-coached football game. And the other thing, right, just I apologize for running on, but what a learning lesson it was just a year ago, the way that they lost to Ohio State, right? And here we go. Fast forward to that year. They were not wowed by the moment whatsoever. Right. They were actually, I thought, the more composed football team throughout the game. Even when Ohio State was trying to kind of ruffle their feathers and get underneath their skin and all that, they were just like, nope, football, next play. And I respect that. It's old school, and it's working for Indiana.
And no knock on Curtis Rourke, but like their quarterback isn't playing on a torn ACL this year either.
That's true too.
That's another big difference.
And Hemby and Black are probably the two most underrated running back duos that we have in college football, just because we always talk about Mendoza and Surratt and Sig. But those two guys ran the football great tonight. The offensive line did awesome against one of the best defensive lines in the country.
We had a couple of rematches from the regular season.